Going on to you, Taurus. So you have the Ten of Swords, Ten of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, the Chariot, Seven of Swords, Ace of Swords, the Justice, Five of Cups, the Fool, and the Page of Swords. So what I'm seeing here for you, Taurus, right, is the Ten of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups. You, Taurus, may need to watch out for having a very critical mentality at this current point in time. The Ten of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups represents how a lot of you, Taurus, may be overly critical about you just may be thinking about how, you know what, you're not going to trust people because every time you do, you end up spending your money and or you end up doing something nice, and all of this that people want to do is just play you, right? You got to learn to let that go. And the reason why it is I say that you have to learn to let it go is because when you continue to approach people with this mentality, you're going to have the Chariot. You're going to have a lot of people. You're going to start to give people questions, question them a lot, and which is good. Asking them questions is good, but the Seven of Swords, this is where the problem is going to be, because the Chariot, the Seven of Swords, you're going to have a lot of people give you pushback due to the fact that some of you, Taurus, may be thinking about just giving these people, just asking them questions as to what it is that they need to, what it is that they need to do, right? Like, not, how do I say this better? They're going to be angry at the fact that you, Taurus, are asking them questions coming from the perspective that they are not meant to be trusted. And you just now getting to know them. And that's how they're looking at it. They're just now getting to know you. So they're looking at it from a perspective of they don't seem to understand why it is that you, Taurus, would be doing that. And that's where the frustration and the discomfort and the conflict comes into play. Because you, Taurus, have to watch out for this type of stuff. Please watch out for this type of mentality, because this mentality that you have of thinking that people are going to immediately scam you, that's a terrible mentality to have, okay? Yes, you have a lot of people out here running games, but as it is that we cover over here on this channel, most people who are running games are really scared at heart. So they're more afraid of you than you are of them, if you're afraid at all. The Ace of Swords now represents you. Again, you have to do the Taurus thing and to love and put down that sword, because you sitting up there thinking to yourself that you're going to go ahead and be disrespectful and do this and do that. And you're really in a situation where you need to understand that people who run games, they're not bright. So instead of you wondering about the games that people play, understand the games, know where it is that they're going to go, but see the bigger picture for what it is and leave those people alone ultimately, because people who play games, and there's no exception to this, they're not that bright, nor are they very successful. Not really. I can show and prove. The Justice now represents, so as a result of this, you being ruled by Venus just like Libra is, right? This represents how it is that you have to learn to understand when it's a good idea to start asking people some more invasive questions so that you can get to know them, and when it's a good idea for you to continue to ask people questions, but don't do it from a condemning perspective, okay? But because the Justice here, the Justice represents, because what's going to happen is that a lot of people are going to stay away from you, not because they dislike you, but because they dislike you based upon that. So it's not anything that they immediately came into this disliking you. No, that's stupid. They're going to end up disliking you because you, Taurus, was asking them certain things, or you really didn't give them the chance, even though some of these people may be very good individuals that really do want to get to know you. So the Five of Cups now represents, and who is that honestly going to be a difficult time for? It's going to be a difficult time for you. So a lot of you, Taurus, are really thinking about, like I said, the wrong things around this time. It shows that a lot of you, Taurus, are over precautious of the wrong things. You're over precautious of, and I've said this before, like, if you're going to be dating, you have to learn to get that out of your system. And the reason why you have to get this fear out of your system is because take the lessons from the past that you've learned, but don't put too much of an emotional attachment onto it, but learn the lessons. So that way, the next time when you talk to somebody else in the future, someone brand new, you're not implementing this harsh, this draconian, this harsh judgment onto someone who, in all intents and purposes, the slate is supposed to be clean. You just now getting to know them. Now all of a sudden you start accusing them of stuff they may not have even have really done. And that's the thing that one of the things that ruins relationships. But learn the lessons that came along from the difficulties that you've had. The Fool, and then now the Page of Swords now represents, because like I said before, look at it like it's water up underneath the bridge. Or Page of Swords, what's going to happen here is you're going to essentially sabotage yourself. You're going to put yourself, Page of Swords, you're going to put yourself in a situation where, you will do yourself in. So the Page of Swords is very much so a card of like, the sword is in your hand. Now, what is it that you're going to do with it? Are you going to wield it yourself? Are you going to, you know what I'm saying? Are you going to end up sabotaging yourself? Or are you going to put the sword on the ground? You understand? Those are your choices. And it's up to you to decide for yourself. The Fool represents, right? The Fool represents moving forward and not allowing this type of, mishaps and things that didn't necessarily go your way in the past rule over you. And the reason why this, I said that you got to learn to get rid of all that mentality is because you can't keep that discomfort with you. You can't keep it with you. So let's clarify some of these cards. Let's clarify the all right, let's clarify the Five of Cups. So to clarify the Five of Cups, the Emperor, the Queen of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, and the Nine of Cups. So this is a situation for a lot of, for you, where the Emperor, the Queen of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, and the Nine of Cups. The Emperor okay, so the Emperor represents, you have to learn to evolve past your own fears or uncomfortabilities of moving forward. Otherwise, you're not going to be in a real relationship like that. I'm just letting you know. The Queen of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, and the Nine of Cups. The Queen of Swords represents those problems that you have to learn to evolve and move past. The Four of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups now represent, so as a result, the Four of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups are about, now you have to set the standard for yourself as to what the new beginning for you is gonna look like. Are you going to hold certain things against people that you've never even met? Or is it that you're gonna talk to these people with a clean slate until they start doing some nonsense? Then you deal with them accordingly. So the Nine of Cups now represents, but a lot of you Taurus are supposed to have a sense of self-worth with this. And like I said before, the reason why it is that you don't want to constantly hold on to this nonsense in the first place, let's clarify the Fool, is because you can't be in a functional relationship that works and then at the same time you thinking about the past. Your consciousness, your intelligence, what you've got going on is going to be split between the past and the present and the future. So let's clarify the Fool, Page of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and the Nine of Wands. Right. The Page of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles represents, if you do it right and you're not super worried about what's happened in the past enough to hold a grudge, what's going to happen here is more people are going to want to be with you. Right? But the thing is that the Ace of Wands and the Nine of Wands represents, or you can get them to feel condemned, right? Like you're in some sort of inquisition, just, questioning them to oblivion and they're going to be put on the defensive. A lot of people are going to be put on the defensive, and they're going to want to pick back when it comes as far as the words is concerned. Or things can go smoothly for you by you just going ahead and talking to them and listen to what it is that they have to say.